USA Today reports that ICE raids contributed to attendance problems for school districts across the country as some students stayed home from school this year, not because they were sick, but out of fear. With no sign that immigration enforcement is slowing down, what can we do about that trust? Joining me now is Phyllis Coven, former U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services official. Phyllis, you have worked and served at every kind of level of this system.
Shout out Audie Cornish, her show on CNN. It's called CNN This Morning with Audie Cornish. Check it out.
On the street.
Well, I think it's important. I think when we see all the images on the TV, and no one is condoning the violence that we see, violence against the immigrants, violence against the citizens and the protesters or the police. That's for sure. But when we see all those very graphic images, it's easy to get confused that it is not immigrants that are protesting there and creating that kind of chaos. That's members of the community who feel betrayed by the administration because of the nature of the enforcement activities that have been going on. The immigration enforcement that was going on was equally chaotic, but we haven't really seen the results of that, whether or not it was effective enforcement. You know, enforcement is based on principles, on proportionality, on accountability. And I think what the community is concerned about is in doing these broad sweeps of the immigrants, that they're not seeing that kind of care and consideration taken.
This rap shit, we ain't come here for the chit chat. Kill all the yapping, let's make it happen. We ain't come to give you a style speed. When it comes to this rap shit, we ain't come here for the chit chat. Kill all the yapping, let's make it happen.
As time goes by, an eye for an eye. That's the best way to keep everybody blind. When the truth is in the building, know these lies gon' die. Cause like my man Chaz Van say, the vibe don't lie. But get your hands up in the sky, wave them from side to side. Cause I'm 20 years plus still killing it, right? This Marco Polo off the Richter man is 9.5. You make the earthquake, I'm shaking it up like Fort Line. And when I talk about vibe, what I mean is organic. Like planting seeds for the trees we need to breathe on the planet. Indeed, really take the planet for granted. Bulldoze and granted and standing right. We plundered and we wonder why the planet hot. Made in this image, are we worshiping the man and not the uncomfortable feeling every time I hear Planet Rock. Disappointed in the leadership and the God. Evidence is more than the images the camera shot. You follow blind faith and make it seem unclean. But faith is only evidence of things unseen. Cause information make it harder for us to follow the stuff. So educated, yes, speak. Wild assumption. Information leads to knowledge. Knowledge leads to wisdom. Wisdom leads to understanding. Once you have all that, you start demanding justice. Justice is what love looks like in public. I ain't just writing for it, I'm out here fighting for it.
We some real motherfuckers on the rise. Under pressure but over the line. Stand up, hands up, close to the sky. By the shade of world up on my 9.5. We some real motherfuckers on the rise. What up, God? Under pressure but over the line. Stand up, hands up, close to the sky. By the shade of world up on my 9.5. Contemplating, I'll be hating how we coming up short. Filling up court, my skin pigment, new black thought. Telling me lies, ain't nothing about you moving no pies. Fabricating on your Instagram. Listen, fam, you a king, but you carry yourself way too way. Songs I sing is prophesized. Modern day Holly Selassie. Coke bars, see me, I'm Poppy. Now, who want this 4 pound of knowledge I shoot? Still wavy, Rolex on, bitch calling me cute. Hands up for some real niggas. When I rise, you rise. Right now, I ain't got no more tries. Mom's chilling, watching over me. No more cries.
No more tears right now, no more years. And we can do a million protests, no one cares. Cause we just get all out of character and throw some chairs. Eventually they burn us out and tell us go somewhere. But the love is too genuine and wholesome here. That's why the light ain't too bright, but the road looks clear. Yeah, personally I got my bread as a crook. And once I finished with the work, I did my head in the book. There's room in the bed, either at the head or the foot. I tell you this, hip-hop ain't as dead as it looks. Nah, diversions to cover up the lies. We some real motherfuckers on the rise. What?
We some real motherfuckers on the rise. Under pressure, but over the line. Stand up, hands up, close to the skies. About to shake the world up for my 9.5. We some real motherfuckers on the rise. Under pressure, but over the line. Stand up, hands up, close to the skies. About to shake the world up for my 9.5.
As time goes by, the 949, you don't hear tears drop when a young child cries. Made a God image, but tell me, do God lying and deceiving? Is it racism in the sky? I believe in God, but not me a word here. Yeah, got my third eye. Wish I had my third ear, 7 cents. Got my 6th sense in third gear. On the highway to hell, nerd have swerved fear.
So, I was watching CNN's coverage last night on the protests and stuff that are going on in Los Angeles. What's crazy to me is how, okay, well, first of all, I was watching the coverage last night, Michelle and I, right? And they were saying on there, right, they started questioning, the reporters, they started questioning if people should be raising their Mexican flags. You know what I mean? They saw that as an issue or a problem, the way they were talking about it. And let me first say, like, I love Erin Burnett. I think she does great work on CNN, all that. And, you know, like I said, we watch CNN. I know they take their lumps sometimes. They sometimes can take a little criticism or whatever for stuff or whatever. But for the most part, I fuck with CNN. Because for the most part, they do challenge those Republicans and stuff. Like when them Republicans come on the air and they get to spewing that nonsense and they get up to lying and all that, at least, you know, the majority of these Democrats or, you know, like CNN or whatever, you know, left-leaning or whatever, at least they do challenge or call out or ask these Republican stuff when they come on and they do the interviews and stuff like that. So, and for the most part, like I said, CNN is liberal-leaning. So that's why we fuck with CNN. I said overall, like I'm not really feeling Jake Tapper, and I'm not really feeling Erin Burnett right now. And like I said before last night, Erin Burnett was probably one of my favorite anchors on CNN. But I just didn't like, I'm not like throwing her in the trash or nothing. But I did have an issue with what she said last night. She seems to feel, well, actually it's two people. It's her and that Adam Kinzinger. He's a Republican. He voted for Kamala Harris. Well, supposedly he did. He voted for Kamala Harris. Supposedly he did. No, I just said that twice, but I forgot my thought. But he was up there talking shit, saying, and I'm going to get the clip together. It'll be on the next couple of episodes, because I just thought it was crazy. Like, so that Erin Burnett, like, 'cause she was on the front lines right there, right? She was doing her reporting for her show. And so she started asking, just throwing out there, she was like, do you think it's a bad idea or whatever? I don't remember her exact words, but she was basically saying, either saying or asking if she thought it was a bad idea for, like, people to be raising Mexican flags. Because there are a lot of Mexican flags there. You know, there's a lot of people that live in Los Angeles that are from Mexico. Their families are from Mexico. My mother was born in Mexico. You know what I mean? So, like, this stuff has a little more meaning to it for certain people. You know, a lot of the land in Los Angeles, a lot of the land out there out west. And I know people are sick of hearing me talk about it, but I don't care. You know, that's stolen land that people are living on now. A lot of that was Mexico. Go do your research. I'm not going to bore people with that, but just Google, is Mexico or are parts of the west coast of the United States stolen land? Or did that used to be Mexico? Just Google that. The parts of the western United States used to be Mexico. Just do the research. If you want to still, be whatever after whatever, but just do the research. Get the facts of the stuff. And then you'll see why some people are so passionate about it. They're like, yo, this is our land. But anyways, I didn't like how Aaron Burnett and that Adam Kinzinger, because that Adam Kinzinger, he was even worse with it. He was like, yeah, I think it's a bad idea for them to be waving the Mexican flags. I think they should have American flags and all that and shit. And I'm like, dude, man, these are Latin people. What the fuck do you mean? So you're saying they're not supposed to be proud of who they are and where they're from? Who are you to tell somebody that they're supposed to basically throw up a white flag, basically? The United States flag is basically represents white people and how they feel about stuff. So I thought that was just straight up disingenuous and just bullshit. And it just lets you know, even some of the good whites, because I would consider Aaron Burnett and that Adam Kinzinger two of the good whites, but even they're oblivious to stuff and they end up saying stuff, insensitive ass shit, whether they realize it or not. But yeah, I thought that was foul. I was actually kind of surprised. I'm like, damn. Like, these people are Mexican. Why wouldn't they have a Mexican flag? You know what I mean? Maybe everyone that was fucking there should have had a different kind of flag up other than the United States flag, or also the United States flag. Because everyone that's in the United States is something. We're all something. I'm black, Mexican, Honduran. Michelle's German, Italian. Like, her skin is white. Like, we're all something. We just all live here in America. We all originated from somewhere else. Our bloodline is from somewhere else. All of that. You know what I mean? So Aaron Burnett, while you're sitting there challenging and saying what Mexican people should be doing and what flag they should be raising or not, what are you, Aaron Burnett? What are you mixed with? That's the flag you should be throwing up. You live in America. Or have both. There's nothing wrong with having both. There's nothing wrong with loving America. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But all this, like, this phony, like, just made up ass, like, apple pie and the American dream and all that shit. Get out of here, man. People are being brutalized in this country. And would I rather be anywhere else? No. I love it here. But America doesn't always love us as black and brown people. You know what I mean? And it's okay to go to war with your family members sometimes. You know what I mean? Families, butt heads, shit like that. It's the same thing. It's like, I love America. But there's some things about it that I don't like and that I get frustrated with. I wish she would treat us all fair. If you go to my Twitter handle at David V is in Victor Johnson too, if you look at my description thing or whatever, when I started my Twitter page back in 2017 or whenever the hell it was, my thing says my whole goal in life is for things to be fair. That's it. Just make it fair. Just make it fair, and then I can take it from there. I don't need anything extra. You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought that was, bullshitty for white people to be telling Mexican people basically that you shouldn't be waving that flag around out here. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell to me. So they're just supposed to just like ignore who they are. That's what they're out. That's one of the reasons they're out there protesting. Is because of Mexican people. We don't get treated well. We don't get treated like a full class human being. So, alright, y'all, let's get to this episode, though. Enjoy the music, clips, and contents, you know what I mean? And like Michelle and I said, we don't care if we got 10 people listening. We ain't going nowhere. This is our platform. We created it. We created a space for ourselves, an environment for ourselves, so we can be ourselves and talk our ish. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we don't care if we got 10 people listening. We are going to continue to do what we do, continue to talk about what we talk about. You know what I mean? Alright, y'all, let's back to this episode. And shout out Collectivo Coffee. Let me get a sip right now. Alright, y'all. Trump's bitch ass sent another 2,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to Los Angeles. Craziness. There's no need for it.